Are we live? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. It is Friday morning. What is today? The 25th, Friday morning, about 8 o'clock. Good morning, Miss Sharon. Glad to have you here. Mike, glad to have you in here. Mike, the bathroom is coming along nicely. I've got to go work on it when I get done here. So, but guys, like we're doing always, tell me what y'all got going on. I want to talk to y'all, know what's happening in y'all's life, and all that fun stuff. And before a lot of people get in here, I'll go over a couple things. First, go check out the website, KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Check it out. We've still got how many days left? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 days left. Morning, Melanie. Oops, good morning. I have not seen you in here before. Thanks for being in here. I appreciate it. We got 5 days left in April. That's 5 days for you to buy tickets and get registered to win the refuge class that they're going to be putting on their bleeding prevention class at the festival in July. So you got 5 more days. Anybody that buys tickets for that is going to be registered to win the class. Good morning, Grit and Grace. How are you? Guys, and there's a few more people coming in. Tell me what y'all got going today. It is sprinkling rain right now and 90% chance of rain all day today. So it's going to be kind of a crummy day. I am glad I am inside all day working on this bathroom. Yesterday, and I know y'all didn't come to hear construction talk, but I'll hit it real quick. Yesterday, hung all the drywall that needed to be replaced, the patches, all that kind of stuff, and started working on the waterproofing on the shower. So today, when I get there, I'm going to run the first coat of mud on the drywall and tape it, and then finish the waterproofing for the shower. So that's kind of the plan for the day. And then after that, we have got the lamb processing class that we're going to be doing tomorrow. And hey, if y'all are close by, or even if you're not close by, we've still got a couple spots left for the lamb processing class. So if y'all want to get on there, jump on the website, sign up for that, pay, and you can be here tomorrow for the lamb processing class. But as soon as I get done with my real job, I've got to come back here, finish cleaning up the shop. The shop's about 90% there. I did most of it yesterday, and we're about 90% there. And then I've got to finish cleaning the shop, sharpen some knives and stuff like that. Good morning, Demo Man Don. Thanks for hanging in here. And Grit and Grace. The weather's going to be crappy here today, so I'm going to do some batch cooking for freezer meals. Yes, that sounds like an awesome plan right there. My wife does some of that. Like she'll fix a big lasagna or something like that, and we'll eat on it for a day or two. And then typically what we'll do when it's left, we'll cut it into like individual servings, and then take it down here to the shop and put it in my VacMaster chamber sealer and seal up like individual portions in the bags, and then stick those in the freezer. And the way I do it is I take a pot of boiling water, get the boiling water going, and drop the bag in there, and it heats everything up, thaws it out, heats it up, and it doesn't dry it out. It's amazing what that'll do. But we'll do that, and I'll tell you, I've smoked brisket before and smoked Boston butts and done the same thing. I'll take and pull the Boston butts and shred all of it, put it in the chamber sealer bag, seal it up, throw it in the freezer, and then I reheat it the exact same way, throw it in boiling water, and the Boston butt tastes like it just came off the smoker. It's amazing that it doesn't dry out and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, got to get the shop finished cleaning up and everything ready for that. And Jacob my buddy Jacob Peterson, he owns Exodus Knife and Tool, and it's Jacob Peterson. I think it's Jacob B. Peterson on YouTube. Go check out Jacob on his channel. He's going to swing by and be here tomorrow, and he's going to do a little bit of knife sharpening for me and give me some tips and tricks. That guy is a total knife nerd and just amazing on all the stuff he knows about knives. But I conned him in. He's coming down, and I was like, hey, can you come a little bit early and give me some tips on sharpening some of these knives? And he's like, yeah, sure. He's like, I'll be down there a few minutes early. So one of the biggest, coolest things that happened, it happened Wednesday. Morning, Greg. Thanks for coming in. One of the coolest things, and it's one of the coolest things that always happens on a homestead. Ginger, my Hereford cow, we raised her from a bottle baby. She is, I think she's 4 years old now. She was pregnant, really didn't know when she was due. I could tell she was bagging up just a little bit. So Wednesday morning, in my typical routine, before I go to work, I come down, check water troughs for the animals, and then I scoot on off to work. So I just ran down, filled the water troughs up, made sure they were good, just glanced over the pasture the animals were in. Everything seemed fine, scooted on out. And a lot of the times the dogs will alert me if something's wrong. It's weird how the guard dogs know if something's wrong or what's going on. But dogs didn't alert to nothing. So I went on. We came back. I came in, was cleaning the shop, didn't check on the animals anymore that afternoon. And then I had to come in and get cleaned up and go to church. So get back from church and, get back from church. We getting my youngest one to bed and everything. I'm getting him in bed. He's almost asleep, and I hear Ginger, our cow, out there mooing. And I'm like, she only moves if somebody's down there or something's wrong. So I make sure he's asleep, holler at my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm running down to check on Ginger. So I get down there. Ginger has had another calf. So we've got a bull calf that was born sometime Wednesday, probably between probably after 8 or 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. Little bull calf, cutest thing ever. It's her second calf. And but he'd walked through the electric fence and gotten on the other side and couldn't figure out how to get back to his mama. So I unplugged the electric fence, got him across the fence. Everything was fine. He went up there and just started nursing on his mom. The guy was dry as a bone, happy as can be. Yeah, Grit and Grace. Oh, he's cute as can be. I'll probably stick a picture of him up on YouTube in the community section here in just a little bit. But yeah, healthy as can be. I loved on him for a minute, and I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I was like, I'm going back inside. So came down yesterday morning, checked on him. My wife found a small halter because all our animals are pretty well tame. I mean, you can go up to most of these animals that we've had a while, pet on them, love on them, do whatever. Ginger, I can take her and lead her around. Literally, I can take a grass string from a hay bale, tie a loop around it, put it around her neck, and walk her wherever I want to. And I mean, you can holler her name and she'll come up to you. So we stuck a halter on him. We're going to halter break him, get him where he's nice and tame and stuff like that. And Ginger and the bull calf are probably going to go live at one of my buddy's places. I'm making a deal with him that because I'm running out of pasture here and I want it to where we can rotate a little bit better and keep more grass. So I'm making a deal with him that he'll keep the cow and calf, and then once we sell the calf, we'll split the money. So I think it works out for everybody. Grit and Grace. Yes, Grit and Grace, she is an amazing cow. We got her when she was about 3 days old. She was a bottle baby. And her mom had died, and she was a bottle baby. Picked her up. We drove like 2 hours to pick this Hereford up. Sweetest thing in the world. Bottle fed her, and I mean, she respects an electric fence. And she got out one time. She was standing in the front yard, and I walked out to her, and I hollered at her, and I said, Ginger, I was like, get your butt back inside and show me where you got out at. And she looked at me and went back down to where she got out and showed me where the fence was messed up. And I'm like, okay, cool. So if I had more room, I would keep her around here. But my buddy lives just right down the road, so I can go see her whenever I want to. So, and we have decided to name him. Our last bull calf we had, I named him Mark. So I was just like, I just came up with a name that sounded silly, and I'm like, let's just name him Mark. So he was named Mark. So this one I decided we're going to name him Calvin, like Calvin and Hobbes. So now everybody's calling him Calvin. And then my brother, it's funny, my brother and his girlfriend are coming down later. I showed my brother a picture of him, and my brother's like, I'm coming down. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm bringing my girlfriend. We're going to see the baby calf and play with it today. So I'm like, come down, do whatever you need to do. Yeah, Grit and Grace, all of hers were bottle babies, and it's like having a dog. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, Ginger, she will follow you around in the pasture, whether you got a bucket or not, and just come to you. And all she wants is for you to love on her and pet on her. And that's the way with a lot of the sheep. The sheep will follow you around, and the ewes that we've had for quite a while, that's what they want. They just come up and just rub on you, and they want you to pet them. So, but we'll be down a few sheep after this weekend. So, but yeah, also, since a few more people are in here, if you got time and are close, we've still got a couple seats for the lamb processing that's going to be going on tomorrow, starting at 9 o'clock here in Bowling Green, or right outside of Bowling Green. So, also, go check out the website. We've got all our medical stuff in stock, ready to ship out. We've got our IFAKs, our vehicle medical bags. We've got tourniquets, all different types of tourniquets. We've got, our IFAKs, all our individual supplies. We've got gauze, Band-Aids, all that stuff. So go check it out. The stuff's selling good. I've got an order that I've got to pack out when I get done here. And excuse me, I woke up this morning, my throat was scratchy and everything else. There's something blooming that is ridiculous, and it is throwing me for a whirlwind today. But all right. Yes, Grit and Grace. It makes it much easier when they're easy to catch and you got to render aid. Exactly. That's the thing. I don't want wild and crazy animals. Pretty much the only animals that I can't lay hands on is, well, we've got one little Juliana boar. His real name is Benny, but he's the last pig that we've got on the place, and so he's the lone survivor. So now I changed his name to Marcus Luttrell, which nobody really thinks it's funny here, but I think it's hilarious. But yeah, having tamed animals, our ram that does all our breeding, he is, I can catch him if I need to, but he doesn't really hang around. He doesn't want much to do with people. And I wanted it that way because the previous ram that we had, he would let you come up and pet on him and all that stuff. But then he started getting mean to where he wanted to headbutt you and stuff. So that was one of the reasons we got rid of him, is because he started getting mean, and he was throwing too big of babies. But our ewes that we've got, I mean, easy as can be. You can do whatever you want to with them. Yeah, and Grit and Grace, the pollen up here is starting to get bad too. It's stupid right now. So, and hopefully this rain that we're going to get all day will wash some of it. Miss Sharon, I don't know if it's buffering or not. Let's see, Grit and Grace. Grit and Grace says hers isn't buffering. So hopefully I'm all good, and hopefully you can refresh that, Miss Sharon, and it'll work. All right, 5x5. All right, good deal. Yeah, if there's ever a problem, is the audio good for y'all? Tell me. I've got a mic. If the audio's not good, I can get and hook my mic up next time. But let me know if the mic is good or not. But tell me, I'm going to hit a couple news things that I found last night that might be of some interest. And let me see, Grit and Grace. The audio is clear. Okay. All right. Demo Man Don, audio good. Other than my stupid coughing, it's good. But all right, a couple of the things, and Mel, yeah, everything's good. All right, a couple of the news things. There's been a lot going on over in Russia. I just kind of keep up with it and see what I see on the news. Apparently, the Russians have done a pretty deadly attack on Kiev. It killed 8 people. This was Wednesday or Thursday when this happened. So apparently there were 8 people killed on this attack in Kiev. Trump seemed like he was pretty pissed about it because Trump is trying to broker a peace deal over there between Ukraine and Russia. And honestly, the EU, the EU wants war. A bunch of the liberals want war, and all these warmongering people in our government want war just because it's good for business. Because they're gonna gain and make all kinds of money for war, and plus their sons and daughters are not going to be the one fighting this war. Their sons and daughters are still going to be sitting in D.C. or wherever they're at and not have to worry about it. So, but Trump was talking. Yesterday, and he was saying, I want this war, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, essentially he wants a peace deal out there with Ukraine and Russia to end the war. And he said around 5,000 people each week are getting killed. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people that are getting killed every week. Yeah. And Grit and Grace, of course, they want war. It pads their pockets. Exactly. They're the ones making the money on it, and we're the ones that's taking the hit on it, which that seems like everything, honestly. So, but yeah, Trump wants that. Trump wants a peace deal with it. And honestly, I think that they should just go ahead and have a peace deal. And now they're fussing about, what is it? They're fussing about some of the territory, I think it's the Crimea, that Russia took like 11 years ago when Obama was in office. They're fussing about it. Of course, the liberals are saying, oh my gosh, we can't let them have that territory because it sets a precedence and stuff like that. And we're like, that's 11 years ago. They're fighting about something different right now. But I mean, hell, if NATO would just say, hey, we're going to follow what we told you, because essentially NATO told them, hey, we will not let Ukraine in NATO. And if NATO would have let Ukraine in, then Russia is going to have nukes on their doorstep, which I understand why Putin doesn't want that. He wants some kind of buffer zone between him and all the NATO countries, which is totally understandable. I wouldn't want my neighbor pointing guns straight across on my property without some kind of buffer. I mean, I wouldn't want them pointing guns on my property either way, but I can see where that is. But the only thing, and I was just glancing over this one article, they were saying that if Russia gets to keep Crimea and some of this territory that they've gotten, essentially that's going to set a precedence for future stuff. And then somebody cited if China, of course, China is looking at Taiwan. So if China comes in and takes Taiwan, then there's already a precedence that's been set, which I can see both sides of it. I hadn't seen too much of what's going on with Taiwan and China, but China's one of those countries, they plan and kind of play the long game, just like they've done with the manufacturing. But of course, our politicians sold us out on that. But so it sets a precedence on that. I think they should keep Crimea that they got 11 years ago. And then if they've gained a little bit of territory, let them have it, call a peace deal. Don't let Ukraine into NATO. And then it seems like everybody will be happy. And then maybe Zelensky, they can get somebody else and have an actual election, a real election. And Zelensky, the puppet, will quit taking our money, or will quit sending money over there. And then also, the rain is here. It is coming down. I can hear it hitting the window right now. So, let's see, Miss Sharon. If they send their grandkids and they make it back, they might think about not sending them. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, the politicians aren't going to send their kids or grandkids over there. It's going to be our kids and our grandkids that are going, and we're the ones paying the price for a war that I could care less about. And then also, there were apparently one of the Russian generals, I think he was a lieutenant general, got killed in a car bomb. This was last night. It just popped up when I was scrolling some stuff this morning. It popped up that a car bomb had went off and killed a Russian general. So who knows who was behind that? Of course, they're going to say, Ukraine was behind that, which heck, it might have been. Who knows who set that car bomb and did that. But yeah, with all the crap going on in Russia, the best thing that I can tell you is keep stocking up, keep being prepared. I know a lot of people, since Trump got elected, a lot of people went back in the Matrix, and they're like, oh my gosh, the orange man is here. He's going to save us, and we're going to be all fine and dandy. And he's going to make our grocery prices lower. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Don't rely on one person. Rely on yourself. Rely on your friends, your neighbors, your community that you're building. Keep building your community. I mean, we're building a good community and a good network here. Yes, everybody's not within 5 miles of me, but I've got people, that I can call up if we need something. We've got a community built here. Like Mike that's in the chat, I could call Mike right now and be like, hey, I need you to come down here and help me with something, or Mike could call me. I would be up there to help him. But don't put your faith in one man. Don't jump back in the Matrix just because Trump is here and and he says everything's going to be okay. So honestly, right now is the time to keep going and keep pushing along. Hopefully things are going to get cheaper to where we can afford more stuff. Keep prepping, keep building your stocks, keep buying guns, ammo, food, medical supplies, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Grit and Grace, Zelensky is a mooch. You're darn right he's a mooch. He's probably one of the most worthless people. And then I saw something, this has been a couple weeks ago, apparently Ukraine doesn't have money to fight the war, so we keep giving them money, but they're building like $1 billion ski resort on the other side of Ukraine or something. And I'm like, what the heck? You don't have money to fight a war, but you got money to build $1 billion ski resort? Some stuff doesn't add up. So, yeah, nobody's Grit and Grace. Nobody's going to save us. We're doing a massive course correction. It's going to hurt. And Demo Man Don, Grace 100%. Yes, it is going to hurt. That's why right now, and Grit and Grace, you'll never regret putting up extra food and water. You're going to use it no matter what happens. Exactly. That's the thing. And it's not just, everybody looks at it as, oh my gosh, you're some doomsday prepper. You're putting extra food. You're putting wheat in buckets. You're putting rice in buckets and beans in buckets. You've got freeze-dried food. This could be for a job loss. Today I could go out and start working, and I've got, we've got insurance and all that kind of stuff, disability insurance and all that, but I could get hurt and be out of work for 4 or 5 months. So you've got a stock of stuff built up to help you get through there. Just think, if you've got a job loss and you can't find work for 4 to 5 months, if you've got a reserve of food and stuff put back, that's one less bill that you're going to have to pay at the grocery store. And that's one less thing you're going to have to worry about. So it's not just the zombie apocalypse, nuclear war for your food storage. It's for everyday stuff. And honestly, if you buy in bulk and stuff like that, you can save a ton of money. Instead of going and buying, a 1 pound bag of beans, buy a 50-pound bag of beans. Look at how much it is, the cost per pound or the cost per unit, and you can save a buku of money doing it that way. And then Miss Sharon, yeah, Trump is not my savior. He's only buying me a little bit of time. Hustle is on. That's it. That's what I like to see. everybody, like I said, so many people went back in the Matrix, and nobody is going to be your savior. We've only got one savior, and it's not a man. I will tell you that. But he did come down here and was a man for a while and died for us. So that's my only savior. I'm not looking for somebody to come in. Excuse me. I'm not looking for some person to come in and save us. Yes, one person and one party can do some stuff to help us, but they're not going to save us. So, and then grit and grace. Yeah, all personal shit hit the fans. Exactly. So, but yeah, keep stocking up. I mean, whether you're stocking up on food, you're stocking up on medical and first aid supplies, or if you're stocking up on guns and ammo, keep going with that. Or if you're stocking up, I mean, if you're getting more chickens, if you're planting a bigger garden, just keep going on with that. Go, 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 go. Don't ever let up. I mean, you're never going to sit back and be like, I've got enough X, Y, and Z. I've got enough medical supplies. You probably don't have enough medical supplies. Even before Shelly and I started selling medical and first aid supplies, I stocked stuff deep. I would buy cases of gauze. I would buy cases of Band-Aids. I would buy cases of Neosporin, alcohol, peroxide. You're never going to have enough of that stuff. Literally, if you're going to treat a wound, let's say somebody's got like a real bad wound on their leg, something like that, you're going to be changing those dressings out, at least once a day, if not twice a day. And say you're going to treat that wound for 30 days. You're looking at 60 things of gauze. I mean, how many people have 60 rolls of gauze right now? And then also enough stuff to keep those gauze on the patient, like Coban. You're going to wrap the gauze around and cover that wound, but then you need either medical tape or Coban to wrap around the gauze to keep the gauze from going anywhere. Who's got 60 rolls of gauze right now that they can treat a severe wound? Plus, you're going to need Neosporin for that. You're going to need cleansing solution. You're going to need to clean that wound. What are you going to clean the wound with? So just look at all that stuff and do that. With our stuff, we sell individual supplies and you can buy in bulk. We've got really good deals on cases of stuff. So look at that and figure that out. Who's got a 3-month food supply? Who's got a 6-month food supply? Who's got a year's food supply for all the people that are going to be at their house? All right, let's catch up on the comments. Let's see, Miss Sharon. I was put out of work on disability with no warning, had zero income for 4 years. I wished I'd been prepared even just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Everybody wants to make us out to be some weird people for the zombie apocalypse, but it's personal shit hit the fan stuff right there. And then grit and grace. Try it now, make the mistakes while your rear end isn't on the line. Exactly. And grit and grace said, Miss Sharon, that's rough. Hard, yeah, and it's a hard lesson and learned fast. And then grit and grace, I know I don't need to hit the medical. I know I need to hit the medical stuff harder. All right. Let's see what GMA. I don't know. Yeah, GMA. I don't know other people well. Hey, I sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Usually I can feel a person out pretty quick. But it's just like, I talked to one of my buddies one day about this, about building your mag and your community and stuff like that. And you get so many people that come in, they talk a big game for a little while, and then they just peter out. And you can kind of weed through them. And he's like, man, it sucks. And I was like, yeah, it does. I was like, but you didn't marry the first girl that you went on a date with. And he's like, no, I didn't. I was like, you had to go through a bunch of people and, date a bunch of people and go on a bunch of dates and weed these people out to find a person that matches with you. So that's the whole thing. GMA, find some people. You've got to go through people to find the right ones for you. I've got no telling how many people that I've talked to that want to join up and do stuff with us and hang out with us. And most of those people, they'll talk a super big game. And when it comes down to nut cutting time, they're nowhere to be seen. It's like, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Nothing. They won't. They won't show up for meetups, anything like that. It's just kind of like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's talk about it on the internet and be a bunch of keyboard warriors. But when it's time to do something, they're done. Yeah. And Grit and Grace, there's a screening process for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's in our personal, smaller community in MAG, I think there's 200 people in this, but I mean, probably 10% of those people are people that actually do anything. And it's sad, but you really got to screen these people. Don't go out there and invite somebody to your house the first thing and show them all your guns, show them all your stored food, show them all your medical stuff, and show them all that. Just don't do that. I mean, that's bad OPSEC right there for sure. Screen these people. The best thing, one of the things, and we've been kind of lacking on it because we've been so busy, is Shelly and I started doing the Homestead meetups. We've got a couple places that neither one of us live at, that they're one of them's a pumpkin patch the guy owns. One of the guys that comes to church with us, he'll rent the space out for us. We'll have a Homestead meetup. It's essentially free. Whoever wants to come to the Homestead meetup can come. And the last one we did, Shelly and I provided all the meat for it, and then everybody brought a side. We had a couple people come in, do some demonstrations, do some talks. We ate lunch and then just kind of hung out with everybody to meet these people in a space that was a public, semi-public space. Nobody had to worry about somebody being at their house and looking around and stuff like that. So we've done that. We're going to do more of those. It's just finding the time. And if y'all want, on building a community and stuff like that, put it out there. If you're on Facebook groups and you want to meet people, put out, hey, I want to have a get together. And set it up, set it up right now. I mean, we're in summertime, so it's nice to be out, or we're in spring, summer, I don't know what we're in. But you could do, say, hey, we're going to meet at this park, get a pavilion, reserve it and say, hey, Saturday at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a meetup, bring a side dish, do that, and then find somebody that's going to talk about, find somebody that's going to talk about chickens. Do a little chicken demonstration, talk about the chickens, and then get to meet everybody. Everybody's on equal playing field and stuff like that, and then you can start screening people out. Say, hey, Joe Blow over here seems like a decent guy. Maybe I want to talk to him more and exchange emails or exchange phone numbers, something like that. Do it that way, and then you're not inviting people to your house all the time. So, yeah, and Demo Man Don, gotta love the big talkers. Demo Man Don, I have seen so many big talkers. It is stupid. And usually I can spot it a mile away. And typically it's the guy that comes in that is just talking about guns right off the bat and all that. It's like, this guy's full of shit. So, but yeah, you can find these big talkers and everything like that all over the place. That and the guys that aren't serious. They just want to talk about it and not ever do anything. So, Miss Sharon, I think about a lot when it gets down to the last bowl of beans. Who's going to give it? Who's going to give it to your kids or theirs? Yeah, exactly. It's. I will tell you. Hey, local prepper, glad to have you in here. Local prepper says I like chicken. Hey, who doesn't like chicken? I think everybody likes chicken. So, but yeah, one of the things that got me real serious about preparedness was I was reading one of the books. I was pretty serious about it before. I got into reading a bunch of the prepper fiction and stuff like that. And one night I was reading, and it's I forgot what book it was, but the kids came up to their dad and they're like, "Dad, we're hungry." You know, they hadn't eaten for a couple of days, and it's like, we're starving. And the dad's like, thinking to himself, he's like, I have nothing to feed my children. We're going to starve to death. And it's like, there's nothing there. So that hit me hard that night, and I was like, I never want my kids or my wife to come up and say, I am hungry and I have nothing to feed them. And that's when I really put foot to butt and made sure that we were all going to have food and enough food. And I mean, we might run out of food one of these days, but I know I'm going to do my damnedest and everything humanly possible in my in my way to make sure my kids and my wife are fed and my family's taken care of. So don't talk about it, be about it. Yes, exactly, Miss Sharon, right there. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's probably one of the best comments today. Yeah, put foot to butt and do it. I mean, we can talk about it on here, but then once we're done talking about it, get out there and actually do it. And grit and grace. I sit down at the end of each year and map out the skill set I want to learn for the next year. Yeah, and it does help keep you on track for sure. I'm horrible, and Shelly, if Shelly's in here, I don't think Shelly's in here, but Shelly can tell you that I am one of the worst people on organization and stuff like that. Shelly, it was funny. Shelly put down, and I was kidding her a little bit. She forwarded me an email. Somebody was asking a question. I was scrolling through, and at the bottom of an email, you can put like your title, like owner or head of marketing or whatever. Shelly put underneath there, and we've never talked about. Shelly and I are equal partners in all this. We share the burden of work, do all kinds of stuff. I handle some parts of it, and then she handles a lot of it. She does more of the as far as like managerial stuff and financial stuff and coordinating and all that kind of stuff. I come up with the great ideas most of the time. So, or crappy ideas, some people would say. But so I was reading at the bottom of the email, and it said festival coordinator, and I kind of giggled a little bit, and I was like, that's exactly what she's doing. And I told her, I'm like, I sent her a text. I'm like, I'm glad that you're the festival coordinator now. And she was like, well, she's like, I am. And I was like, I know. I was like, I'm just messing with you. I was like, can I be the chaos coordinator or the chaos happener? And she was like, she came up with a festival uncoordinator. So that's going to be my title that I'm going to put in emails now, is the festival uncoordinator. So let's see. GMA. My dad knew this guy that talked about the 10-mile rule. Saw a survivalist guy talk about the 10-mile rule. And I'm very blessed in my 10 miles. GMA, tell me what the 10-mile rule is. I've never heard of the 10-mile rule. So tell me what that is. And then LP, Shelly is awesome. Yes, Shelly is amazing. I am glad to have her as a partner in KSL and to do everything. Honestly, Shelly takes care of all the taxes, which I'm horrible about taxes. So she keeps me out of jail for sure. So Shelly's amazing on everything she does. Stuff would not get organized for sure. I can promise you that. And then Miss Sharon, 100% Jason. That's why it's important to garden and raise meat sources. No matter how much you have stocked up, it'll run out if you can't replenish it. Yes. And Pastor Joe Fox, Viking Preparedness. He is the one I heard it from, and I'm going to give him credit where credit's due on this. But yes, Pastor Joe said, once you open that can of food, that stored food, if you have no way to resupply, you've started the stopwatch on your on starvation. So if you've got a year's supply of food and you crack that open, what are you going to do on day 366 if you have no resupply? So if you've only got a year's supply of food, you're only going to live 1 year. So have a way to resupply. That's the biggest thing, because you never know how long you're gonna survive. I mean, yes, you could, if you're 50 years old and you're saying, hey, I'm gonna die at 100, you could stock up 50 years of food. It would be crazy for the warehouse and the amount of money to spend on that. But you can do that. So, but have a resupply plan. All right. Let's see. Yeah. The shenanigan ringleader. Yeah. And then LP said the chief cat herder. I feel like I've heard cats sometimes at the festival, but it's fun. Who knows? Yeah. And then Shelly knows her stuff about a lot of things. Yes. And I will give her credit for sure. She knows a hell of a lot more about gardening than I do. I will give her that. And it's always been my background has been more of the prepper aspect of it, the guns and stuff like that. And I moved into the homesteading part. Shelly started out the homesteading part, and then I've drug her begrudgingly sometimes towards the prepper stuff. So that's the cool part with us working together. I've got more of the prepper aspect. She's got more of the gardening, homesteading stuff. Not that we don't know, cross each other and know about that. I'm a lot better at raising meat than I am vegetables, and I will not deny that whatsoever. And honestly, I don't eat a lot of vegetables, so I don't give too much thought about it. I would rather have meat. And then probably Saturday night, we're going to be eating lamb chops, or at least I'm going to be eating lamb chops. All right. GMA, the average person can walk 10 miles round trip in a day. Whatever's in that 10 miles is all you have in a SHTF scenario. Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that. So, 10 miles is a pretty good distance. So I'm going to study that. We might do just a whole video on the 10-mile rule. All right. Let me scratch that down. All right. Food Plant Nursery. Good morning, Mike. Mike, if you're going to be a vendor, you need to fill out your stuff, buddy. So spots are going quick. So guys, go check out Mike at Food Plant Nursery. Mike's is up in Indiana and sells all kinds of nursery stuff as far as plants, all that kind of stuff. Mike doesn't sell the pretty ornamental stuff. He sells stuff that's going to keep your butt fed. So Mike brought down some tomatoes, some kind of heirloom tomatoes for me. And Mike, if you've got more of those, I need some of those seeds. They didn't do real good this time. I just didn't do much with them, but I would like to have some more of those heirloom tomatoes. So, all right. The second news article that I've got, and we'll have to shoot this kind of quick. Well, what? Tell me, do y'all want to hear another news article, or do we want to just rant and see what's going on with everybody? It's kind of an interesting article. This has got this is let me see what Miss Sharon said. To expand on the 10-mile rule, if you have the right people in place 10 miles apart, you have a supply chain. Yes, exactly. And that's the whole thing. The lone wolf scenario, a lot of people are like, they've got that meme or that shirt, and it's got a guy holding a gun, like running towards the woods. It's like, in case of shit hit the fan, grab your SKS and go to the woods. Those people are not going to survive long. The people that are like, hey, I'm going to grab my bug out bag and my tent and go live in the national forest. That's probably one of the stupidest plans I've ever heard of. And a lot of the people that are like, oh, I'm going to hunt for my food. You might be able to get by with hunting if you're in somewhere like Alaska, to where there's not a big population of people and there's a lot of animals up there. But even in Alaska, when the food starts running out, even the people that don't hunt right now are going to be out there hunting, and they're going to kill off the game. Look at the Great Depression. They pretty much almost wiped out the deer population in the United States from the Great Depression because everybody and their mom was out there hunting deer. So I know it took a long time for the deer population to come back. Much less, people are going to be out there trying to kill turkey. They're going to be killing squirrel. They're going to be killing rabbit. Hell, they're going to be killing any kind of bird they can find just to get some meat. So the whole mentality of the lone wolf deal is not going to pan out, in my opinion. I just think it's a fantasy that people want to they're going to go out in the national forest and build their little log cabin and stuff like that, and then live out in the woods and all that. I mean, what's going to happen? Let's just say you're living out in the woods and you do have your log cabin built and all that, and you're living good. What if you break your leg, or what if you really get yourself injured and you're by yourself? How are you going to, first, if you break your leg, how are you going to get firewood in the wintertime? How are you going to get more food to feed yourself? You're not going to go hunting and do all that kind of stuff. How are you going to get water? All that kind of stuff. I mean, you're done for. So, Demo Man Don, I never heard of the 10-mile thing. That's good to know. Let me see, GMA. Not here. My neighbors and I have to cut the world out plan. Yeah, I mean, part of that. Yeah, you can. It's gonna take a community and a whole lot of people for people to actually survive in a grid down, shit hit the fan scenario. It's just not going to be one person doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's something to think about. And I guess the majority of today's show has been don't stop doing what you're doing just because somebody's in office. Keep going and keep building up. Never stop learning. Never stop adding to your supplies. Never stop adding to your knowledge base. And Doris, I think I agree more with this one than I've ever agreed with one of your shows. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's build that community. Go out. All right, today, homework for today. Look over your food storage. Look over your medical supplies. Look over your security situation as far as guns and stuff like that. Look over that. See what you got. Take a stock of that and see where you need to improve. A lot of people are, there's no way I can have a 1-year food supply. Yeah, you can. I mean, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time is the way you do that. So go in and start. If you're starting from scratch, start with 3 days. And once you've got 3 days, start with a week and then build up. Once you've got a week, go in and start with a month and just keep building from there. Miss Sharon, what's the other news article? Miss Sharon, build up your medical stuff, whether you get it from me or whether you get it from Jay or somebody else. Start on stocking that stuff up. The other news article, and we're just going to have to hit it short and quick because I'm supposed to be somewhere at like 9:15. But this happened in Germany, but this is happening all across in all the first world countries. This is a Syrian, and I'm reading off my laptop, serial Syrian offender arrested for a double stabbing in Germany and still can't be deported. Apparently, this is a Syrian refugee. He's been caught up, and he's done this before. Multiple violent and criminal attacks. He's been indicted before on it in 2023, convicted of smashing people's windows, just all kinds of stuff. But apparently this guy stabbed 2 people on a bus. One of them was in a wheelchair, and then the other passengers on a bus. But the government insists the Syrian refugee must remain in Germany. And what I'm getting at is this happened in Germany, but we've got gangs in the United States. It's happening here. I mean, hell, it's happening in Bowling Green. I mean, all this kind of stuff with all these refugees. And I'm not opposed to people coming to the United States legally. If you want to come to the United States legally and assimilate into our culture, that's fine. I have no beef with it. I mean, essentially, we're all migrants. I'm not a native person. Really, the only native people are the American Indians that were here before us. But if you want to come here legally, that's perfectly fine. But we've got all these refugees, is what they're calling them, but they're actually illegal aliens that are crossing the border. They're criminals. So you've got all these criminals coming in. They're not going to assimilate with our country. They don't really give a shit about our country. They just want to come and get the free stuff And then they're like, oh man, I didn't get what I want. I'm going to stab somebody. And because some lady in a wheelchair pissed me off on a bus, I'm going to stab her. It's like they have no respect for life. Look at all these gangs that are coming up from South America. There's Argentinian gangs, there's the Mexican gangs, MS-13, all these that are just doing stupid stuff. They have no respect for our country, no respect for life. I think like that Syrian refugee in Germany, they ought to kill his ass. They shouldn't deport him back to Syria. They should just take him out and hang his ass and be done with it. But if anything happens to him, he's probably going to sit in jail the rest of his life, or just get a slap on the wrist. And then the taxpayers are paying for all this. So it's cheap to buy a rope and build a set of gallows. And hell, if they wanted to do that in the United States, I would donate the rope and donate the lumber and probably the labor to build some gallows so we could hang some of these stupid bastards that are doing this stuff. So let's take care of these people. Keep your head on a swivel, know what's going on. I mean, I've got my head on a swivel. I'm armed 99.9% of the time. I mean, if you look, one of the things that Melanie posted on Facebook, and I sent it to her, it's like a guy defends himself against a break-in by using his shower gun. The guy had a gun in the shower. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's like, always be prepared. I mean, always be prepared and know what's going on. Stop grabbing your phone and you're looking at your phone when you're walking out of Walmart and you don't know what's going on. When we go to the ball field, when we go out, especially at night, when I've got my wife and my youngest one with me, when I've got them with me, I go to their side of the vehicle, let them get into the vehicle and the doors close before I go around to get in my vehicle. That's just, and get in on my side. That's just one of the things. Be alert. Stay off your cell phones, stuff like that. So good morning, Bill and GMA. Bullshit, I was born here. I'm a Native American. We'll crack that nut later. Our ancestors crossed an ocean, walked across unknown lands to get here, hell, away from others. And I think we can do a lot of that on our own. Yeah. But yeah, that happened in Germany. But I mean, we could probably pull up 15 things where gangs, illegal immigrants are killing, U.S. citizens, causing all kinds of stuff. But that's just, like I said, keep your head on a swivel, know what's going on. And all that. And guys, that's kind of all I've got. I am going to get off here in just a second. If anybody's got any other comments, we'll hit them real quick. But I'm going to have to get off here in a minute and head to my meeting. And then I've got to go waterproof a shower and get the shop clean. So, guys, everybody in here, go check out the website. Get your festival tickets. You've got 5 days left. To buy your tickets to be registered for the Refuge Medical Drawing, to where you can win a seat in one of their classes. And then also we've got first aid medical supplies. Everything's in stock, ready to ship out for y'all. And then also we've got a couple spots for the lamb class. So if you want to come learn how to process a lamb, we're doing that tomorrow right outside of Bowling Green. LP's headed to 10 a.m. live now. Have a great day. LP, as soon as I get done with mine, I will jump in there and say hi to you. I appreciate you being in here, local prepper. Bill, my sow is finally looking like she's pregnant. Good deal, Bill. That'll be awesome. I know you're going to be excited for that. So, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Shelly and I might wind up doing a live on Sunday night. So be looking. Me and her might be on here Sunday night doing a live for y'all, and we appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all being here. If we're not live on Sunday night, I will be back here on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock Central Time. Guys, I appreciate it, and I will see y'all then. Have a good day.